Hey everybody, welcome to NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com, the YouTube channel, and NoDQ&A videos affiliate, RingsideNews.com. Before we get started with the questions, I just wanted to wish everyone a happy 4th of July weekend. With that being said, let's get right down to your questions. Alright, let's get started here with this special extended edition of NoDQ&A video during 4th of July weekend. Got your questions here. First one from CPW1978. Cheers, Aaron. Really? Miz and Jericho? Is Chris really going the RVD route? Mid-card? Where will Y2J actually fit in the World Heavyweight Championship picture, if anywhere? Will he get one more run before retiring for good? You asked like 8 questions there. Basically, you're asking why Jericho coming back in an apparent mid-card position. Here's my response. Chris Jericho chooses to come back to WWE. He has got his gig with Fozzy, and he does not need to be in the World Championship picture. Chris Jericho is happy doing what he's been doing, coming in every now and then, helping elevate some of the other talent and some of the younger talent. That's what Chris Jericho's doing. He's given back to the WWE and the wrestling industry. He's at a point in his career where he just wants to do wrestling on a part-time basis. Now, I get this question every time Jericho comes back. Will he come back and be world champion one more time? I think that it's likely one day before he retires, he'll get another reign as champion. I think that that will happen. I think Jericho will want to have a final run in WWE and have a proper run on top. And I'm sure WWE would love to do that for him. So I think that it will happen down the line. But for now, I mean, he is happy doing this part-time gig and doing Fozzy and doing WWE every now and then and coming in when he feels that he can give back to the business and he can work with a guy like Bray Wyatt. So I don't see it as a negative what Chris Jericho was doing. And I'm sure if Chris Jericho started getting a huge push and was in a WWE title picture, people would complain about that and say that, why aren't they pushing the younger guys? So, it's a lose-lose situation here. Jericho comes back, he's in the main event, people would complain. If he comes back and he's not in the main event, people will say, well, he's now just coming back as a mid-carder, so what's the deal? And as far as Miz goes, I got a question here from WWE fan Dark Arrow. Hey Aaron, now that the Miz is back, what do you see next for him? Will he be in the WWE World Heavyweight Championship picture? I hate saying that, it's just too long, WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I just like to say WWE title. I wish WWE would change that. But, that's a whole different topic. Regarding the Miz coming back, don't see a whole lot for him, actually. He came out. He did his promo, basically, I guess he's a heel again, and then Chris Jericho came out and laid him out with a code breaker, and the attention was taken away from The Miz and drawn to Jericho, and then the angle with the Wyatt family, and The Miz was completely forgotten about. So, yeah, not exactly the best comeback for The Miz. One would think that he would have come back with Ric Flair and maybe been taken more seriously, but he was right back to being the joke of the show, coming out saying how he was the main event of WrestleMania and he was a big Hollywood star, which we all know is a bunch of BS. And nobody took him seriously, and everybody popped when Jericho laid him out and popped in a way like, we're happy that you shut this guy up, but we don't have to hear him anymore. So, yeah, not looking too good for The Miz, I have to say. WWE title picture, not so sure about that one. All right, this one comes from Leuck Eric. Not sure how to pronounce that. Hey Aaron, first time asker. What do you think about the whole AJ Lee segment, and what does this mean now for Paige? Please answer in video. And I got another question from Default Mark. Hey Aaron, what did you think of Paige's title run? It felt like a bit of a flop to me. Well, regarding Paige's title run, I mean, it certainly could have been a lot better. WWE started off on the right note with that, having her come in and show up the night after WrestleMania, where she would be guaranteed a huge crowd pop because a lot of those fans are the diehards and they all follow NXT. so she could come out, get the big reaction, and beat AJ, and the people would accept that because they're seeing somebody from NXT getting on the main stage, and they got to see a title change. So, you know, it was off to a good start, and then it kind of just fizzled out, and she was put in bad spots on pay-per-views. It wasn't that the matches were necessarily bad or anything, it's just that she was put in a position where it was what it was. It was a filler match, and you know, you do several of these, and you know, people just don't take the Divas title seriously or the division seriously as a result. So, you know, it's not Paige's fault. It's the way she was portrayed, and it will likely come down to being a flop in the eyes of most fans when you look back on it. But once again, I wouldn't put the blame on her in this case. And as far as AJ Lee coming back, I mean, it's great to see her back in full force on WWE television. I'm sure this will fuel up the CM Punk rumors now that AJ's back. Maybe people will start speculating about CM Punk, thinking if she's coming back, you know, that's a sign that he's getting ready to come back. And I wouldn't read too much into that. You know, CM Punk, say it again, said it before, he'll come back when he wants to come back. And, you know, I guess this also means that she's not pregnant, and that was a rumor that was out there. And I guess that, you know, you can pretty much confirm that that's not the case. All right, this one comes from Noel804. Hey, Aaron, what are your thoughts on the situation regarding Emma and her release and then reinstatement from WWE? I think that WWE was perhaps quick to release her. I mean, if she is guilty of what she's being accused of, then it was a bad decision on her part. But at the same time, there have been people in WWE that have done far worse things, going from DUI to drug abuse and drug suspensions, all sorts of different things. And these people kept their jobs. So I think that WWE maybe decided that it was wrong to release her for a minor breaking of the law. So it just goes to show, though, the situation in WWE right now, where you really have to be careful of the things that you do and how you handle your personal life, because WWE is in a situation where they are trying to cut costs, and they've been releasing people, and it was very bad timing on Emma's part to get in trouble right now, because WWE will look for any excuse to get rid of somebody that they feel is expendable. And let's face it, she's only been in WWE for a few months now. She's been doing the stuff with Santino, and she just came up from developmental. So she's in a position where she cannot afford to make any kind of mistakes. So, you know, hopefully she has learned her lesson, and hopefully a lesson has been learned to other people in WWE to really be careful, because, you know, there's a lot of other people that are looking for the spot that Emma's in, and you know, if you make a mistake, WWE can get rid of you and easily find somebody else to take that spot. So, I mean, that's just the reality of the situation, and you know, hopefully people learn from this. All right, this one comes from Logan89. Hey, Aaron, do you think it would be a good idea if WWE shops sold replica Money in the Bank briefcases? Do you think it would make them lots of money off of that? I know if WWE shops sold them, I would get one. What about you? I'm not sure I would want to buy a briefcase with a Money in the Bank logo on it, especially when you could just find a briefcase anywhere and print out a picture of the Money in the Bank logo and just slap it on it or something. So, you know, I really don't see the appeal in that, but I guess for some people maybe there is appeal to it. Obviously, it wouldn't be a real briefcase because you wouldn't be able to bring those things into the arenas. So it would be a fake briefcase with a WWE Money in the Bank logo on it. You know, I guess whatever floats your boat. I don't see the appeal to that, but you know, the title belts make sense to me. But I think the Money in the Bank briefcases are a little bit overkill. Just my opinion. All right, this one comes from Crusher6363. Was turning Jack Swagger face a good move? I've gotten quite a few questions about that. Jack Swagger and Zeb Coulter now are apparently faces in this new feud with Rusev. I'm fine with it. I think that you've gotten as much mileage as you could have out of Jack Swagger as a heel, and people have been doing the "We the People" chants, and people sing along to the theme music. So Swagger's almost been a face now for some time. Cesaro was getting cheered, and same thing with Swagger and Coulter. I mean, people like the whole "We the People" chant, and the music and that whole thing. So. It made sense to turn him face at this point. I think the timing is right, and you can do this feud now with Swagger and Rusev. I'm guessing that this is just another guy for Rusev to beat, but it makes sense to have an American guy against the foreigner. So logical decision to turn Jack Swagger face at this point, I think. Got another question here. Hey Aaron, long time viewer, first time asking a question. Do you think it's really necessary for Paul Heyman to still talk about Brock ending the streak? At first it was a good idea, but now all it does is take away from Cesaro and nobody reacts to it anymore. I think that when you look at the big picture, on one hand it's important because Brock Lesnar is going to be coming back and being in the top spot. So you want to keep bringing that up. You want to make a big deal out of the streak ending. But at the same time, you definitely don't want to take away from Cesaro. But I really feel that the damage has been done with Cesaro. I think that they should have stopped doing it after the first week, or maybe they shouldn't have put Paul Heyman with Cesaro in the first place. I mean, I'm really having second thoughts about that decision. Going in, it sounded like a good idea, but WWE hasn't exactly executed it well. So yeah, I think that. What's been done has been done, and you could stop making the references to Brock in the streak, but it's not going to help Cesaro in any way at this point. So it doesn't really make a difference what they do now. All right, this one comes from Jay Sanford 15. Hey Aaron, do you think WWE killed the rebirth of ECW by tapping it before SmackDown and by taking it? I think you meant taping it before SmackDown, and by taking it on the road versus airing it at the ballroom. There's a lot of mistakes WWE made with the relaunch of ECW. First off, ECW had a cult following. People liked ECW because it was not WWE, it was not WCW. It was a small underdog promotion. You had guys that fans felt were being mistreated by WWE and WCW, and guys were given no limits in ECW. ECW was its own product of its time, and there's just no way WWE could recreate that original ECW. So I mean, that was the first thing that you had going against the relaunch of ECW. It was one thing to do one pay-per-view where you tried to recreate the old ECW, with the one night stand, but trying to make it a full-fledged TV show, I mean, it was going to be very difficult to pull that off. And yeah, I mean, they did everything wrong. When you put guys like Big Show on there and Bobby Lashley, that right there is going to kill it. And then taping it before SmackDown, it just didn't work. It didn't have the old ECW feel to it. And that one show that they tried doing in the ballroom, the fans were rejecting what they were seeing. And WWE likes to have control over the audience and doesn't want the audience hijacking the show, so they quickly dropped that idea of doing shows at the ballroom or in small venues. So yeah, I mean, there was a lot of problems with bringing back ECW. But going in, a lot of people saw these issues coming, and yet WWE still did it. So whatever. All right, next question here. Hey Aaron, why do you think WWE gives CM Punk the silent treatment and only talk about him when they are in Chicago? Could it be because of the royalty checks? Well, WWE doesn't need to acknowledge CM Punk when he's not around. I mean, CM Punk is a part of the company, so they're going to focus on their own product, and WWE is going to move on without him. The only time that they mention him is when they're in Chicago, and that's because on those shows they really have no other choice, because those fans will continue to chant CM Punk, and it's probably going to be like the Montreal crowd chanting for Brett every time WWE goes to Montreal, and you kind of have to acknowledge it because the fans are just going to keep chanting it and they're not going to let it die. So I think those Chicago fans, every time, although this week on Raw, those fans were chanting for CM Punk too. So but WWE is really going to try to avoid mentioning CM Punk when they don't have to. If WWE starts randomly bringing up CM Punk again, then that could be your hint that maybe he'll be coming back. But if they continue to completely ignore him, except for places like Chicago, then that's a good sign that he's not coming back anytime soon. All right, last question today from Shade Hedgehog. With Damien Sandow's mic skills being pretty good, are you surprised he isn't at least a mid-carder right now? I'm very surprised that WWE has completely given up on the guy because he definitely has the promo abilities, and he definitely can do a variety of things in WWE. He can do the comedy, he can do the serious heel. I mean, he can do it all. The problem is that WWE has decided that he is not going to be a main eventer or even close to a main eventer at this point. They're not grooming him for the future. They basically just put him in the Chavo Guerrero comedy role where he comes out and he gets embarrassed every week by a babyface. And we saw that this week with Great Khali of all people. I mean, you know your career is in the toilet when Great Khali comes out and knocks you out and pins you, in 5 seconds. I mean, what else can be said? I mean, that is a clear sign that Damien Sandow has no future as a serious competitor in WWE. So it's very sad because that guy has a lot of talent, but shit happens, I guess. All right, that'll do it for this edition of NoDQ&A video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please subscribe, share it on Facebook and Twitter. Happy 4th of July. Have a safe one, and I will see you guys next time for more NoDQ&A video.